In this example, the objective of the rule is to decline ATM withdrawals if the same card has been used multiple times with withdrawals of large amounts within a short period of time. Consider Singapore as the issuing country. In order to track multiple transactions over a period of time, we need to create a velocity rule and incorporate it into a real-time decisioning rule. Now, let's see how you create this rule for the scenario described. First, click on the Rules Admin tab. Select Velocity from the Rules Type drop-down. Then click on Create New Rule. Then give this rule a name, for instance, Velocity ATM Transaction. Then give a meaningful description to track multiple ATM withdrawals based on transaction count and cumulative amount. Now, add a definition. This will take you to the Rule Definition Edit Criteria page. Choose Merchant Category Code from the Parameters drop-down menu. For operator, select equals and 6011, the merchant category code for ATM cash, as the value. To choose the MCC, you can either input the code directly into the field or key in the description and click Find First. By clicking Find First, the corresponding description will then be found. Once you have verified the correct code has been selected, click the Add to Criteria List button. Next, the parameters to define the issuing country as Singapore needs to be set. To do this, select Merchant Country Code from the Select Parameter menu. For operator, select equals to and Singapore as the value. Once you have verified that the correct country code is selected, click Add and Update. Now, we've given this rule a name and chosen the rule type as velocity. The next step is to define the velocity count in transaction currency. Once selected, click on Update. The next required step is to create the main real-time decisioning rule. From the Rule Type drop-down, select Real-Time Decisioning, followed by Create New Rule. Then give this rule a name, for instance, ATM Transaction Threshold. Then give a meaningful description. Decline ATM withdrawal if the same card has been used more than 3 times within 30 minutes or cumulatively within $3,000 within 1 day. Now, add a definition. This will take you to the Rule Definition Edit Criteria page. Choose Merchant Category Code from the Parameters drop-down menu. For operator, select equals and 6011, the merchant category code for ATM cash, as the value. Once you have verified that the merchant category code is selected, click the Add to Criteria List button. Next, as per the velocity rule, the parameters to define the issuing country as Singapore needs to be set. To do this, once again select Merchant Country Code from the Select Parameter menu. For operator, select equals to and Singapore as the value. Then click on Add. Finally, incorporate the velocity rules under the optional criteria. To do this, set the parameter as velocity rules followed by our velocity rule, that is, velocity ATM transaction. For operator and value, select occurred within and 30 minutes. Finally, input more than 3 for the transaction count and click on Add. Next, we need to add a second optional criteria. Once again, set the parameter as velocity rules followed by our velocity rule. For operator and value, select occurred within and 1 day. Finally, input more than $3,000 for the transaction amount, click Add and Update. We have now completed the rule criteria definitions and so can proceed to selecting the processing options. Select Decline as the action and Always as the time frame. Now, the RTD rule has been created and supported by a velocity rule. The real-time decisioning rule will decline ATM cash withdrawals if the same card has been used more than 3 times for ATM withdrawals within 30 minutes, or where cumulative withdrawals amount to more than $3,000 within 1 day. Please always test your rule, assess the result, and activate only after you have determined that the rule meets your objective. Rule activation will follow a batch cycle, where activation takes place every 15 minutes from the top of the hour.